The challenges that we are facing is, first, in just about a month, we should be able to provide money for people to buy GI sheets and provide, be able to assure supply of GI sheets for the people who need, and then help them rebuild temporary shelter. That's one. Second, providing water treatment medicines. That's going to be tremendously important. And third, as I mentioned earlier also, saving people from the areas where there is a huge chance of flash floods.
But in terms of the pace of what you're able to offer, you're saying maybe in a month you'll be able to offer people the kind of money they require to build temporary shelter. Even this weekend we've seen landslides, we've seen here in Kathmandu a pretty aggressive storm on Saturday evening, which has ripped through tents and so on. Is that quick enough to get people proper temporary shelter?
When I said 1 month, I'm not saying that they will have, all of them will have to wait until 1 month. What I'm basically saying is, this is the handing out cash is going to start in just about a day or two. Even in the remotest village in the country, I mean, within a month we should be not just able to provide money, but provide supplies so that they can purchase it and then build that temporary shelter, and this would be in temporary shelter within a month. That's what I was implying.
And in terms of the funding, how much has been committed, how much has come in?
Even if we do not get enormous amount of funding immediately, right, relief part we'll be able to handle with the money that people with, from the country are providing, some support that's coming from outside, including Asian Development Bank, Bhutanese government, some of the Arabian countries also are providing some business people from other countries, many within the country. But more challenging would be getting enough support for the National Reconstruction Plan. Initially, what we have said is we need probably about $2 billion US. Government has set aside $200 million US allocated already. So there's a funding gap of $1.8 billion.
Well, there is skepticism, isn't there, both here and in the international community on that front. I mean, we saw in March, a month before the earthquake, a British parliamentary committee recommending cutting British aid to Nepal unless it dealt with what it called endemic corruption and poor governance. So how do you convince both your own population and potential donors that this money will be used properly and it will find the people that need it?
I cannot just say these are baseless criticisms. I mean, we are a country that had to go through 10 years of violent struggle and then trying to build peace, and we have not yet been able to write constitution even after the peace process started, 10 years after the peace process started. There is some amount of skepticism people have about their political leaders, about us. Guaranteeing transparency is going to be important. Making it corruption free is going to be important, and equally important would be making effective use of every penny that's there in the fund.
Who will be the guarantors of that transparency, if not the same people, the same institutions that have come under all this criticism? We
are very open to involvement of the donor community, some oversight role if they want. I mean, we'll be willing to do that. We are very willing to put people from outside the government, from within the country, so that, I mean, their presence on the committee also would provide some level of guarantee to people within the country, to the international community, that fund would be used properly. This is a calamity of enormous proportion. This is a national crisis. Let's use this as an opportunity to improve the governance also. Let's use this as an opportunity to gain the trust of the people. Let's use this as an opportunity to gain confidence of the donor outside. Let's use this opportunity as a national will and determination to do the best that can be done to the most deserving people of the world.
Let's move on to reconstruction. You've put a 2-month ban on any projects more than 2 stories high, while a more formulated reconstruction set of codes is put together. One of the key issues surely is that you had reasonably good codes of practice for building work before, but they weren't enforced. So again, how do you ensure that after this, that those improved codes will be enforced?
Once people ran out of their problems, came to the capital, then they have found a new life here. And to cater to their demands, business community started building high-rise buildings. That was, I guess, after this earthquake, we probably have gotten much wiser, not just as administration or the government, but as people also, we probably have gotten wiser.
There'll still be people who want to make a quick buck, though. After a few months or a year, the reality of what happened could fade somewhat compared to economic opportunity.
Greed and avarice not going to go away from anywhere in the world. But as people become wiser, as the problem is going to be less pronounced. If I say because that problem is going to be there, we'll never be able to rebuild. If I say because this problem is going to be there, we'll never be able to enforce the building codes, then I'll be even more stupid. So with all difficulties, every nation builds itself from the ashes, and we probably are in a situation to build our nation back together, move ahead with our lives from the ashes that's left after the devastating quake.
Let's move on to one of the key economic earners for this country, the remittances from overseas labour. The Labour Minister has been quoted as criticising Qatar for not allowing all of the Nepali workers working in the World Cup construction there to come home for funerals and to visit family members, make sure people are okay. It's quite rare, I think, for Nepal to publicly criticise a country like Qatar when it relies on this money for, I think it's 20% of GDP comes from remittances. So that would suggest there's pretty strong feeling on this matter.
I do not know if Labour Minister has said that or not, because at times you see something reported in the press is not accurate account of what the person had to say. Having said that, I'll also add this. Qatar is a very important country. Remittance, very important for us. So anything we say will have to keep this perspective intact. If we say something that's going to put in peril the job and employment of so many people who are working in Qatar, in many other Arabian countries and other countries outside the country. We're talking about more than 3 million Nepali people living outside. If anything that is possible to bring home people who have thus lost somebody in the family, I'll be very happy to work it out with the individual employers.
Finally, I guess your life has been entirely taken over by firefighting and trying to resolve the huge challenges that have suddenly hit your country. Have you had a moment during that period to kind of step back and really absorb what has happened to this country and to the people here, and I guess grieve for what has happened?
Not yet. I'm still attending to day-to-day challenges that's coming up. But I guess when you are in the shower or in the bathroom attending to your daily routines, then you get some time to just think about what's going on and how you're going to be able to cope with this as a nation, as an individual, as a family. But at some thoughts, tangential thoughts have come to my mind, but beyond that, I'm attending to day-to-day work. And this is my job, I guess. Once I'm done with this, and probably will get a chance to think back and say, and probably reflect upon the experiences and be a wiser man after that.
Okay, Minendra Rijal, thank you very much for speaking to us today.
Thank you.